Well, here's a little thing. I just realised that I made this journal long ago and I haven't yet put it onto YouTube. I haven't done a flip through of it on video, so I've decided to do it now. The history. In July 2025, I had the pleasure of doing a 3-day workshop in Sydney with the wonderful Rachel and Sarah from Roxy Creations, and the workshop was journal making. So even though I've made a number of journals before, I jumped at the chance to be able to go and work through the process with Sarah and Rachel. So here's my journal that came of that experience. So let's have a look through. Obviously in 3 days I didn't finish it, and I don't think anyone there finished theirs, but certainly got a long way into it and managed to get enough information to be able to easily do it at home later, which I've enjoyed doing. On the outside, let's start. I made a little dangle charm to go there. It's got some glass leaves and beads, some silk ribbons, and a little charm and a key all hanging there from an eyelet in the top. The spine is, well, the cover covers the entire book right round. It was just made in one piece and wrapped around and then attached to the completed book. I used just a sari silk tie in variegated blues to go around it. The fabric for the cover was mostly from one of Rachel's designs that you can probably recognise some of the features there, and then it was collaged a little bit with some other fabric that was available to us at the workshop and other things that I added into it as well. So you can see that the little bird down the bottom here is from one of Rachel's prints, and I have just lightly embroidered mainly along its wing with some gold and brown thread. I sewed its little feet on because it was difficult to cut out the feet, and then it's just been rolled edge stitched in place there. I did think about putting a bead in its eye, but I haven't done that. Some little pieces of lace, some laundry markers, and another little butterfly that was just cut out and edge stitched on in place, and I embroidered the feelers and the body, and thread painted some flowers there. This was a piece of my own lace that I took along. So you can see there's quite a bit of detail with all the collaging, some Suffolk puffs or yo-yos there, bits of lace, a little doily medallion there, and a bit of embroidery there. So that was all fun. We spent most of the first day making the cover, and of course that wasn't finished either, so that was, we'd pick up little bits of time now and then later on and do the rest of it. So Rachel provided a lot of the papers and things to go in there. In fact, we didn't have to take anything along. It was just using everything that was provided. So you can see there's some beautiful Italian papers that I've put into a bundle at the beginning there and tucked them into a little vellum pocket. So I won't do too much talking as I go through. I'll just let you absorb the wonder of all the beautiful pieces that are in here. some of these are vintage papers that Rachel provided. Some are vintage papers from my own collection that I added after I came home. These have just been tied together with a little silk string. And you can see a lot of the Italian papers, you know where they came from. In each of the centres of the signatures, I've used the ties from the signatures to add little dangles which will pop out from underneath down at the bottom. So most of the ephemera items were from the workshop, but sometimes some of them, because there wasn't enough time to finish everything while we were there. So quite a lot of them also are from my own collection, my own makes from home. So there's quite a mixture of different things, but I've tried to keep them pretty much in the same style so that they fit in nicely with the papers that Rachel provided. I've missed a couple of my dangles as we've gone through. There's one here, I know we saw that one. I've got 3 signatures. The second one, here's one. It's a little crystal and gold piece and a little blue tassel. And then onto the third signature. I have some of these little half pages and I made a little pocket at the bottom. This one I popped in a little notebook that I made. It's quite simple, just zigzag stitched along the back to hold the pages in place. And I always do a straight stitch line along underneath the zigzag so you can tear the pages off there. Pocket with a few envelopes and tag in there. A little envelope just clipped in. Edith Holden style stuff popping in there. That little card doesn't want to come out. Oh, maybe there's no card in there. Might be just the lining. Envelope. It's an Edith Holden page with a piece of vellum over the top, just tones it down a little bit. A little pocket there. It's a belly band with some paper behind it. Little envelope. Corner pockets. And we're nearing the end. And I popped a little kind of a bunting tag in the back, sort of old dyed, hand dyed fabric with lace pieces. Just a cute little thing. I thought needed something there. So that's the end. So if any of you ever get an opportunity to go to one of the workshops that Rachel and Sarah conduct, I would highly recommend it. You can end up with some beautiful piece of art like this for yourself. Thanks for watching.